Alright guys, welcome back to another Aranea video where we're going to be talking about Aranea and Sephiroth, who could potentially be the next banners that is going to be dropping to global DFFOO. Now, nobody knows exactly what event is going to be dropping, but many of us do speculate that the Sephiroth RW is more than likely going to be the next event, but we're going to have to wait and see. But if by chance it is, we're going to go ahead and talk about both of these two characters, the changes that they are going to be getting, and I'm going to let you guys know whether or not you should pull for either of the two in the upcoming banners. Now, real quick, I do want to mention that I just came home from vacation, so I am a little bit short on time because I have a lot to do before I go back to work tomorrow. So the should you pull video is going to look a little bit different because normally I have separate slides talking about the reworks and any brand new weapons that characters are getting, but this time I am going to combine it in the should you pull portion to save a little bit of time, and because I am on a bit of a tight schedule right now since I just got back from vacation. So on the following should you pull videos, it'll go back to normal, but I just wanted to let you guys know ahead of time, especially to those who do rely on some of those specific slides. So but anyways though, without all that being said, let me know what your plans are going to be down in the comment section below, whether you're going to be pulling for Aranea and or Sephiroth. Feel free to let me know. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's talk about whether or not you should pull for Aranea. So the rework that she is going to be getting, her skill 1 Dragoon Dive Plus deals 8 HP attacks in total that does delay the target by 2 turns before the last HP attack. Her skill 2 High Wind Plus deals 6 HP attacks with 80% splash damage 2 times. Now her EX ability, Air Superiority, deals an AoE full HP attack 6 times. That does grant the overclock buff for 4 turns whenever she is inflicting a break. The Plus version also does an AoE full HP attack 6 times that extends the duration of the active overclock buff by 4 turns, and both the regular and the Plus version does grant a free ability use on her following turn. Now her LD ability grants the overclock buff for 4 turns, and it now deals an AoE split HP attack 6 times that recovers 50% brave in between HP attacks. The Plus version also does the same thing. Now when it comes to her FR, the only change that her FR received is that now she deals an additional HP attack whenever you activate her force time or use it as an FR Echo. Now Aranea's BT effect lasts for 10 turns, and it allows her to now be able to launch an enemy on her own turn, and by the time the launch sequence is done, before it finishes, she will trigger an air follow-up attack called Air Drive, which allows her to increase her Brave by 50% of own max Brave and deals a 2-hit ranged Brave plus an HP attack 7 times. That allows for 150% stolen max Brave overflow and recovers 50% Brave based on the HP damage dealt after each HP attack. When it comes to the party gains a 50% Brave damage up, 50% Brave damage cap up, 20% HP damage up, and a 30% HP damage cap up. So with all the changes that she is going to be getting, Aranea becomes a top tier DPS right behind Astos. Like, her damage output becomes so much better, and the BT effect, which grants her that new nasty air follow-up attack, man, I don't know what else you can ask for. Like, I know that many of us have probably considered Astos to be a cheat code because of the insane like damage output that he is able to dish out, but Aranea is not that far behind him or extremely close behind Astos when it comes to the amount of damage that both of these two characters are able to deal. And the nice thing about Aranea is that she is able to delay, she is able to re-break, and she is able to make it easier to deal crit damage for the the party via the Vital Crusher debuff. Now the re-break, depending on like what you are trying to do with your setup, sometimes can kind of get in your way, but it's also nice as well because it does grant Aranea the another free turn. So like let's say if you're trying to spam FR Echo, if you're not going to be using her FR as the main force time, then you can easily get that out the way because her FR is able to re-break the enemy. And so long as you have that EX buff active and her overhead active, then you are pretty much going to get that free turn. Not back to back, but you will get it whenever it is her turn. So yeah, it's nice. It's gonna be a nice thing for Aranea, especially if you are trying to quickly dish out as much damage as you can with Aranea, because more than likely you are going to be spamming her skill 1 the most because it deals 8 HP attacks, and then following up with that air follow-up attack, that is 15 HP dumps in total that you are going to get out of Aranea, especially if you are going to go into the BT phase. Then you already know that you are gonna, as long as you set up properly, then you are gonna get some very, very good total burst phase damage output out of Aranea. So her FR is still more so for herself because you do need to delay the target, which breaking the target also counts as well. But the one thing that I do want to mention with that is that there are going to be characters later down the line that can actually help you out with this if you are wanting to use Aranea's FR as the main force time, or if you pulled for Iris, then that's not going to be an issue for anybody, because so long as Iris's BT effect is active, all of the enemies brave are going to be at 0, and more than likely they're gonna have that 0 value, which in turn is gonna make it easier for you to break the enemy, and it will count towards that first FR condition. The second FR condition is to deal critical brave damage, and that's about it. So like you do have ways to be able to make her FR, if you're gonna use it as a main force time, you do have ways to be able to make it work currently right now, but later down the line there is another character that would actually pair really, really well with Aranea, which is Quistis. Now Quistis is gonna be is the alleged, at least to many of us, because like technically she was like in a way announced, but not really, because she is the other mysterious banner that is supposed to be dropping with the next 6 warrior quest that we are going to be having later this month. So if it is her, then both Quistis and Aranea is going to pair up really, really well, because Quistis' BT effect allows for everybody on the team to constantly delay, and also given the fact that it does grant them that special delay bypass, that Quistis is the only character who has that, where that BT effect is going to provide it to everybody. So Aranea can definitely work with other characters, especially when it comes to using her FR as the main FR. Now if you're not going to use that as the main FR, that is fine, but you can easily just use it as FR Echo, and that's about it. So overall, what do I think about Aranea? Aranea, again, top tier DPS, easily top 5. Her damage output is still very much well. She recently got her force level 50 in JP, and she is still clapping to this day. Like if you want to check out a recent gameplay that I uploaded not even a few days ago, you can see that Aranea, even though she is being affected by a huge brave gain reduction from the enemy's force time, Aranea is still very much dishing out some very, very strong damage, and I still consider her to be in the top 10, when at least like my personal top 10 when it comes to DPS characters. Now again, as of right now, she is easily right behind Astos. Once Astos gets released, like she is easily right behind him in terms of damage output. But of course, everybody's going to be more than likely going to be waiting for Astos. But you can't go wrong whatsoever with pulling for Aranea, especially if you're also working on the blue crystal characters for your weekly crystal mission, or yeah, your weekly crystal quest. Then Aranea can be a really, really easy choice to also consider pulling for, to make those weekly crystal quests easier if you are working on the blue crystals. So in my opinion, I do feel like Aranea is definitely a pull. Like yeah, pull for Aranea's kit. Like, you would not be disappointed with like what she is able to do, and her damage output again is like right behind Astos. So like you really cannot go wrong with either picking up both her and Astos, or maybe deciding to go for Aranea instead of Astos, or the other way around. You are definitely gonna get your worth out of Aranea because of the rework and that BT effect, which makes her a top tier DPS unit. Now, when it comes to Sephiroth, his rework to his skill 1 deals an AoE full HP attack 4 times, followed by an HP attack 3 times to the target that you chose. When it comes to his skill 2, it now deals 10 HP attacks in total that recovers 50% Brave in between HP attacks, and it does grant 2 levels of his Genova buff. Now, for his EX ability increases Brave by 500% of own attack, allows for 180% gained max Brave overflow, and it deals an AoE magic full HP attack 9 times that recovers 20% Brave in between HP attacks, and then it also increases Brave by 500% of own attack after each HP attack except for the last. His LD ability deals an AoE split HP attack 8 times that recovers 50% Brave in between HP attacks. Now, his BT effect, it does gain more Brave potency. His BT effect got extended to 8 turns. Previously, it was 4. Now, to himself, they gave him a 70% HP damage cap up. That's a lot of HP damage cap up for one character. And the party also gains a 30% HP damage cap up. Now, when it comes to his FR, Garland is going to be his FR partner. It does reduce the group's Brave by 100% of individuals' current Brave, and then it deals an AoE split HP attack 4 times that inflicts the cellular erosion debuff on all enemies for 8 turns. Now, while this FR is active, it does provide the party with a 50% HP damage up. Now, when it comes to the conditions, the first condition is a 40% increase whenever the party attacks a debuffed enemy, and the other one is a 40% increase whenever the party has any leveled buff or special effect. So Sephiroth definitely got the juice. Like, he got HP dumps, he got a fat HP damage cap up, his BT effect got extended. Like, he definitely got a good amount to his kit. The thing is, though, with Sephiroth is that he does kind of come at a weird time, which I do feel like is one of the reasons why, and this also applies to me, but I do feel like the reason why a lot of players do not tend to use Sephiroth, it's not because he's bad or anything like that, it's just because there are other toys that come around the corner that it's just like, oh, you know, like, yeah, Sephiroth's cool and all, but like, we got these other toys that we want to play with first. So like, Sephiroth, he is not bad whatsoever. Like I said, he's about to gain a whole bunch of HP dumps with his upcoming rework. So like, in terms of damage output, he does not have any issue whatsoever when it comes to single target, when it comes to AoE. Like, he is able to dish out some very good numbers. So on top of that, with the BT effect granting him that fat HP damage cap up, that right there is the 70% plus a 30 that he is granting to the party, so that's 100%. Then you also got to include ultimate weapon, you got to include his high armor, then you have to include other BT effects active that will more than likely provide him with more HP damage cap up. Like, Sephiroth is definitely going to dish out for some very high HP damage overall. Also, with his BT effect being extended at 8 turns, is going to help him out so that he is able to dish out those numbers much longer. But also, with that BT effect, for those who do not know, basically makes it so that the enemy's Brave is always going to be at 1. So let's say if you break them and then the turn ends, guess what? Their Brave is going to go right back to 1. And so because of that, his BT effect was special in a lot of players' eyes because there were a lot of other characters that he would actually pair up with very, very well, like the infamous Yidaroth, where Yida would spam her HP plus and she will gain a free turn. And because Sephiroth's BT effect was always active, Sephiroth didn't get a turn because Yida was the one that was constantly getting turns over and over. Another good pairing would be Sephiroth and Dorgon. Like Dorgon, remember, every time that either himself or somebody breaks, it triggers his follow-up attack. So there are many comps that you can actually do with Sephiroth. And on top of that, because his BT effect got extended and he now has the HP dumps where he doesn't feel like he is going to be like the one character on the team to be like left back because everybody else is doing what they need to do. Like Sephiroth is right there and is able to contribute to whatever team comp that you currently have active. His FR conditions, they are very easy to meet. Remember, Sephiroth is able to inflict a gold frame debuff. Yeah, No. Yeah, it is Sephiroth. I was thinking of Kadaj as well, but no, Sephiroth is able to inflict a gold frame debuff, or if anything, like if you need to inflict other debuffs just in case, like you can always use call abilities as well. And then the other condition, I mean, like the other condition is just as easy to meet, which is to pretty much have a leveled buff or a special effect on said character. So his conditions are easy to meet and the percentages are not bad at all. Like 80% plus is a very good increase, especially if you're able to back it up with FR Echo. Then yeah, the HP damage bonus is going to go high pretty quickly. So overall, Sephiroth with the FR, I would say that, let's say like if you are tight when it comes to high power stones, I would say his FR is not entirely necessary. It would have been nice if they gave his FR HP damage cap, because that would just, you know, that would just make everybody deal higher HP damage, especially for Sephiroth, who has a fat 70% HP damage cap and the HP dumps to back it up. Like, yeah, it would have been fantastic, but you know, it's not like 1000% necessary unless you want to have his full kit. But you definitely want to make sure that you have his BT, you have him green, so that way you can take advantage of some of the other things that he does offer. Because like Sephiroth, again, like I mentioned earlier, like he is not a character who is just going to stand there while you take advantage of his BT effect. Like he is able to contribute with everything that he is now able to get. So is Sephiroth a must pull? Sephiroth is not a must pull. Is he great to have? Yeah, he's definitely great to have, but he's definitely not a must pull unless you see yourself taking advantage of that BT effect and you have other characters in mind that you want to be able to take advantage of the fact that he is able to manipulate the enemy's brave, always keeping it constant at 1. Then Sephiroth is a really good choice to consider pulling for. So, other than that though, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know what your plans are going to be, especially since, you know, we don't really know exactly what the banners are going to be for whatever this mysterious IW is going to be. So, but yeah, feel free to let me know regardless. And as always, if you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.